Welcome in, guys, to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. This your host, Just Call Me Tex, and today we doing something a little bit different. We're gonna bring you our first zombie talk, and this is featuring my co-host, Man on the Moon. What's up, Moon? How's it going?
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Hope everyone's doing well today.
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about a few topics that's been really dear to us that we want to kind of get into, and we're gonna look at pretty much the mythic trials. We're going to look at the state of the game and how some of the areas that we see can definitely be improved. So the first thing that we want to look at is the state of the game, right? Where we think the game is headed. So Moon, I'll start off with what is your level of enjoyment with the game so far, from 1 to 5? Where do you stand?
I mean, at the moment, I'm probably sitting. I'm actually at the lowest I've been in quite a while, to be honest with you. If I'm being completely real, I come in and I do my daily stuff. I do everything I need to do. When war's on, I still go in for, my 12-hour shifts a day or so. But at the moment, it just kind of feels like I'm going through the motions, waiting to have fun again.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, I'm probably sitting somewhere at like a 2.5, a 3.
Okay.
Just cause a lot of things at the moment, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I think for me, I'm right at about a 3-4 ish. But the thing for me is just I think my biggest pet peeve is because I'm struggling with conquest. That's my thing. Like I've been having a really, for some reason, and I got a really good roster, right? But I just been having a tough time with conquest because it just seems like some of the stuff is like insane, like how the character, the levels of the characters, things of that nature and stuff, so I have been I looked at your videos on conquest with some of your team ideas and things of that nature, and trying to just build that out so that I can be able to have that excitement. War, what used to be like my favorite part of the game. I still love war, but with all these S-class tunes, it's becoming a nuisance. Not that they're hard to beat, but it's just a nuisance having to deal with that all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy when you have to just deal with Marge and Mercer and God, what's her name? Tara and things of that nature. So Mackenzie, you know what I mean? It's just, especially when she's behind Negan. Like if Mackenzie's with anybody else, it's it's pretty good. I can deal with her, but when she's behind Negan, she presents issues. So for me,
I know my main way of controlling them is with Yumiko. So, I mean, if it's behind the Negan, I'm just like, okay, pray for a stun. And if there's Marge, it's okay, pray for an impair on attack, because I use one impair on attack weapon. But, I mean, if you're building your team behind a Negan with a Marge on the side, if you better have impair resist on your Mackenzie at that point. So now I'm dealing with someone who's already immune to taunt, confuse, and stun, and they've got an 80%
yeah, right. It's crazy.
Like, okay, guy.
It's nuts, and the thing is too, like what that results in, and it's the thing that gets to me is what it results in, right? Because it makes you have less points in war and you have to use more cans. That's what my issue is. Like you're losing a ton crap of points behind it because of the little quirky things and stuff like that. So it can feel like a duty at times, and I don't want it to be that way. Like you said, just like with your outro, when you say, remember it's a game just to have fun, right? You just want to have fun. So, and I take that to heart. Like I get on the game working all day, right? I don't want to have to run into these guys because I just simply want to have as much fun as I possibly can. So I definitely understand that aspect of it.
As much as you say it, from that perspective. I never thought of that as from a game perspective. I did, but like I see a lot of people, especially back in the day, 2 years ago, there was always RTS Drama. So, it's like, come on, guys, it's a game. Have fun. That was what I always used to say when drama was going down, or like when people would do a bad pull. It's like, okay, yeah, but you don't need to. I can't tell you how many people I've had tell me they threw their phone and broke it because of like a bad 40 pull. And I'm just like, it's a game. You can't be doing that, But from your point of view, I totally see where you're coming from on that, because with the reflect mod, it really isn't fun dealing with S class in the mythic era. My big issue with S class in the mythic era is mythics, as much as they're more powerful than S class, it's because they have more stats, they have the passives and all that.
And the weapons too, like there were some crazy weapons before too.
Yeah, well, and back in the S class era, you only had the rush and the active and then the weapons. So everything was so overtuned that, like, even though S classes are, 40,000, 50,000 total combined stat lower than a mythic, their overall kit power is so much higher just because of what that character can do in just that one turn.
Absolutely. It makes, and what you're saying makes perfect sense. So that's what if I had a pet peeve, well, I do have a pet peeve, but I'm just saying, like, that's what my thing is. Other than that, it's the Walking Dead is what we've come to know it to be. I can say that as far as like resources and things of that nature go, like the game has improved a whole lot in that area, because I remember before you couldn't get gear to do anything pretty much. So there has been major strides and great improvements in those areas as well. It's just that
I mean, not even just gear though. I mean, if you go back even 6 months, I mean, I'm sitting on like 500,000 armory tokens, and I'm gaining. Gaining because
it's a lot of them. Remember, we couldn't even get armory tokens. Like, it was like,
it's not even just the gear that, gear can still be an issue. Like, it's still a pain trying to farm for specific gear. Like, if you're in the middle of a level up already and you're just trying to, level somebody from level 1 to 600, I mean, the pain is still there. If I run out of a gear and I got to go farm, if I got to stop leveling to go farm, that's annoying. I mean, the accessibility is there, but it's still annoying because I'm not trying to go farm gear at that point. I'm trying to level this tune up, But so I mean, like, that irritation's still there. But when it comes down to that, that's more my fault than anything. Like, I should have just opened the crate, been like, okay, I need 24 of these. Let me go open 24 crates. Instead, I just let myself not open them and run out. So
now what would be a great addition if we had a slide bar for the crates. Like, I want 12 of these. Just let me select 12 instead of me having to do one at a time, right? So that's another little area in which definitely things could be sped up. But I like what's going on with this the tune and how they were able to switch it up. We just recently had who was it? We got Ico, right? We just recently had Ico, right, with the $20 offer in the game. You was able to limit break her, and then they had a nice little side mission thing where you got tons of gear and things of that nature. But this one that's coming up with Cal, which actually started today with the bob wires and everything, right? You actually get 2 of him. So you can actually free to play get 2 of him, and then if you want to limit break him and get the weapon and things of that nature, that turns into it's the $20 offer and everything like that for the prison key. But I think that was a great change though, right? Because you're allowing, and Cal's no slouch though. That's just my personal opinion. Like, I think that he's actually pretty good, you know.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm with you on that one. I think he's pretty good as well.
Yep. So him being able to be in a game and it's being a free to play. Now, obviously, you got to grind and win and things of that nature. But still, the fact that, I mean, this is a major change from the S-Class era. Everything was pretty much, I mean, the tunes that they gave us for free were terrible, right? Let's just go ahead and get that out there.
No, I'm gonna quash that right now. I off the top of my head, Kenny, Brutus, Jesus, all free to play.
Okay, you're right. Sorry, let me correct that.
I'm sorry.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Moon.
Jesus and Brutus and Kenny, like,
before that point, let me clear that up. Before that point, they were Krista, you know, who James, those guys wasn't.
I mean, I honestly, I think I would lean more towards the side of saying that the free to plays were 50-50 because
okay, I could admit that I could deal with that 50-50. That's right.
Angel wasn't bad. There was definitely a free to play Angel meta. There was definitely a pay to win Angel, Angel meta.
Meta
like,
too,
people,
yeah.
So like, I didn't think of her off the top of my head, but gave me a second and I thought of her. She was pretty good. Mackenzie, I mean, as much as I hate her, she was a season tune, which there again, I kind of hate them for releasing her because she was the last season tune before the Mythic era, so they knew that they had to have known that the potential for her to be used with Mythics was there. So it's kind of irritating, but to say she's a bad character, nah. She's surviving into the Mythic era, She's definitely
I see what you're saying. I definitely get that. What I should say is, or what I was trying to say in my mind, it didn't come out clear, is that the tunes that they're giving us as these free Mythic characters, I think overall had, they're better than the tunes that we were getting in the S-Class era, so to say. That's what I was meaning to say.
I mean, I think it's. See, I think back to
because like Tyrese, Andrea, like these some good tunes, man. Sandy.
Okay, so you're okay. You're not. I was more. I don't necessarily see those as like event characters per se. Though.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like,
when I think of an event character, I think of a character that exclusively came from said event, like Tyrese, Sandy, Gov, all these characters, Dexter, Sophia, all these characters have been available in events, but like that doesn't necessarily, in my mind, make them an event character. Those are just events that have characters already in them. When I think of Mythic event characters, at the moment, I only have Bruce, Aiko, and Cal to really go off of. Have we had another exclusive character besides those three?
Jesus was an event character.
No, he was a launch character. He was in there in launch because he's one of the.
No. I'm talking about S-Class Jesus. The one with the
I'm talking about the Mythics though.
Oh, the Mythics. Okay, yeah. No. You're right.
You're saying that the Mythic characters, event characters, seem to be better now than they were in the S-Class era, and like, I just don't think it's necessarily completely like a parallel to compare them because like most of the events in the S-Class era, you were either flat given a S-Class, like Kenny, Brutus, was Jesus an event? Yeah, Jesus
I think was an event. Yeah, I think he was.
Or you were given like cards and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like you I don't recall a S-Class event where it was like you can just get this S-Class. and it
Makes
wasn't
sense.
and it wasn't an event character. Like there were plenty of events or plenty of characters that were, like you say, event characters, but those were like the Kennys and the Brutuses that were one-offs. It wasn't like in this event you can get S-Class Mercer. It was, just okay, well, we're going to throw cards in tournaments or we'll throw card boxes around. But it was never a full S-Class that I can recall.
Yeah, it makes sense. I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying there.
From the point of view of that, like from your original question, do I think the characters are better? As far as the event characters, for one question, not at the moment. I mean, Aiko's okay. She's pretty good, but she's not spectacular.
Makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Bruce is. I mean, there might be some use for Bruce eventually, but I don't see it at the moment. And Cal looks good.
Yeah, Cal does. That Guardian too is very important. It's going to be ultra important, and he decaps, right? So he's going to be really important.
Well, he adds crosshairs.
Crosshairs. Yeah,
which is actually better in my opinion.
That's true. That's true. But because then anybody can decap the character with the crosshairs, so that's pretty good. Beautiful.
And as far as the characters that have been available that weren't, in my mind, quote unquote, event characters, I think they're pretty good. We've had Abe, we've had Rosita, we've had Gov, we've had Ty, we've had Mercer, we've had
very good.
Erica. I would consider Erica an event tune at this point. Honestly,
that season 1, it makes sense. It makes sense for her to be an event tune because war is an event. Like you have to place well to even be able to get her.
Well, and I mean as much as she was in the game as soon as Mythics launched, like she wasn't necessarily an event character. Like, okay, this month, but she was essentially a game mode character.
Yep.
And now she's going to become in the future, she's going to become available later on. So she kind of, in my mind, goes from being an event character to she's kind of that halfway in between where it's like, is she an event character? Yeah, kind of, but not really because you can still get her later as opposed to, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be able to get a Bruce later. Oh, Ivanova was another event character we've had. So I do have to amend my statement. I think we've had two good.
Yeah.
We've had
Ivanova's very good.
We've had two good event characters. I'm going to just call call Bruce bad and Aiko kind of
Aiko's good.
Between. I'm not going to.
That defensive down she does turn 2. If you could lower a tune and then use like Rampage with like Andrea, it does a lot I've been testing it. It does a lot of damage, man. That Rampage and it seems to proc a lot too with that defensive down.
See, and I maybe I'm wrong. I'm not all knowing. I haven't tested her. To be honest, I didn't buy the sites, so I only got her at. Hell, I think mine's still tier 1, level 1, just because at the moment there was no point. I've got tier 5 Negan, Rick, and Alice. So like to add another attack leader that I have to work on and work on their passes.
I see. It makes perfect sense.
I wasn't worried about it. I think I just think I have better already. So I kind of look at her as meh.
Okay, and I could definitely understand that too because of your setups. So, like, she's not gonna come and replace your Negan. She's not gonna come and replace your Alice or something of that nature because you already have that set rotation going. I can understand that, but the thing is, for like those new people who just got her and they don't have like our Negan setups and things of that nature, if they can build her right. And she does a boatload of damage to 3 tunes when she rushes. So she has a lot of playability, especially if you just trying to build your teams and everything like that.